Weeds on the tracks, on the tracks, on the tracks. On the tracks, on the tracks. On the tracks, on the tracks. On the tracks, on the tracks, on the tracks. On the tracks, on the tracks, on the tracks.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another reality check, virtual radio, Black Light Revelations podcast. Man, I think Izzy fell asleep. That's why I said in the chat, spam is Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Spam is IG. You know what I'm saying? Wake that fool up because I think he fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, though. We're going to try to, you know what I'm saying? You know, we need Izzy to complete the dynamic duo, but you know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be, I don't like Batman, but I'm going to say Batman flying solo this evening, all right? And I think once I get through the stuff that we had planned for tonight, which is only going to be part of it, because I need an atheist for the other part, you know what I'm saying? I might go live on BLR 1, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that's here. It's good to see everybody. We got my man Jay Bird in the building. Shout out to Jay Bird. We got Al McGowan in the building. What's good with it, bro? We got Ali 8100 in the house. What's good with it, bro? We got my man Carlton Way up in here. What's good with it, bro? So what we about to do is we are going to react, all right? And we are going to react to this moron that says that black people are an embarrassment, all right? Kid Gravity did a reaction to this video earlier in the week. I don't know if you guys saw it. Shout out to my man Black Star Racer. Black Star Racer actually tagged me in this video. So I'm gonna, again, like I said, I'm trying to be more responsible and more receptive with my social media. When people tag me in something or are gracious enough to send me content, I'm going to try to make sure that I always incorporate it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna check this out, and I really want Izzy to be here, man, because Izzy got a Izzy got his own style and his own way of going in, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just like I do my thing and he do his, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, though. We get it together, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Red Raven Rucker over on Facebook. All right. I'm going to send you the link, bro, so you can come to YouTube. All right. So give me 2 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure that you guys smash the like button. Man, we had a show planned for y'all. We had a good show planned for y'all. We was going to take some call-ins, but it's all good. It is what it is. All right. So RCVR BLR podcast. Yeah, is he counting sheep? You know what I'm saying? Either counting sheep or counting money. You know what I'm saying? If he counting money, I ain't mad at him. If he counting sheep, you know what I'm saying? You already know we about to be talking shit. We about to be talking shit. You know what I'm saying? So also, if you guys aren't on Rumble, remember, we streaming on Rumble now. So we got the Rumble popping off. All right. So has anybody seen this guy? Does anybody know who this guy is? If you guys have seen this fella here, or you know who this guy is, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, give me a thumbs down. This guy is a YouTuber, all right? And we're going to look at his YouTube account. But believe it or not, he's got about 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's got about 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. And one thing that's interesting about YouTube is it seems like a quick way to get your subscriber count up is if you make videos talking insanity like this.
All right, listen, y'all. I know some of y'all are looking at the title and saying what?
So he's, first of all, he says some of y'all are looking at the title. So the title of the video is I'm embarrassed by black people. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says, uh-oh, he looks off code. Yeah, you already know. Off code media, bro. Off code media. Let me ask you guys, if you guys agree with Carlton, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. It's definitely off code to say, you know, I'm embarrassed by black people if you're black. Now, here's my question. If other groups of people aren't embarrassed by their behavior, what they've done to the planet, and literally having a negative, damn near genocidal interaction with every other group of people on the planet, If those people aren't embarrassed by that, then my question is, what do you have to be embarrassed of as a black person? Does that make any sense? But let's see what he says.
What the hell are you talking about, my guy? Yes, I am embarrassed by my people right now, and I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna lie, man. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Every grocery store looks like this. Everything is either on the floor.
So now here's the thing, right? Look at that Walmart. Look at how bad that looks. Looks pretty bad, right? Anybody dead? Because other people have went through and made black establishments look like that, and the only difference was that there's a bunch of dead bodies laying around. But according to this guy, because there's some civil unrest or because there's some degeneracy or, whatever was going on here at this Walmart, that's a reason for him to be embarrassed of black people. Now, I got a question for you guys. Did every black person in the United States take part in this? I know I wasn't there. I didn't get the email or the invitation either. What about you guys? Did any of you guys get the invitation or an invite to come to this? But according to him, you need to be embarrassed of being black because of this. Something that you had nothing to do with. Which is interesting because that's the same thing that other people say about their history. Well, that was our ancestors and that happened so long ago and we didn't do anything and we weren't even there. So why are we accountable for it? Yeah, I don't live in Chicago. I've also never encouraged anybody to do this. Why should I be embarrassed? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Look at this. Can't even get no fucking food for my kids, G. Look at this. Came in the store to try to buy something because I'm not a thief. Look at this. In my hood, can't even get no food for my kids. Babies need milk. Can't even get nothing for my kids, bro. I feel like an animal, and black people make me feel like an animal. Y'all did this to us.
So now the person that actually made this TikTok video, kind of off code too. You know what I'm saying? Kind of off code too. So now black people did this. People from all around the diaspora, everybody, all black people contributed to the issues going on at that Chicago Walmart. That's interesting because when we talk about school shooters, the accountability and the responsibility does not go like that. Why the difference? That's a great question. Who is y'all and who is us? Big facts. Big facts, Al.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the store. Look at this.
Shout out to Hey Mr. Knickerbocker. Everybody make sure you guys throw some thumbs up, flames, radiation emoji in the chat because Hey Mr. Knickerbocker hit your boy with a Cash App. Definitely appreciate it.
But this is what we're fighting for. This is honoring George Floyd. People who already couldn't feed their kids, now they really can't feed their kids.
So now my question is, when it comes to these kind of things, why is it that everything goes back to George Floyd? And real quick, also, guys, Hey Mr. Knickerbocker said that she was having issues with her notifications. If you had an issue with your notifications, can you guys make sure that you do the survey that's in the chat? There's a survey that's pinned to the chat about the YouTube notifications. And also, if you got a notification, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If you didn't get a notification, give me an angry face in the chat.
Look at this. I am so devastated right now. I am so devastated right now, G. This is not okay. For us to have to live like this, we do stupid shit like this all the time, and we so black proud. We so black and proud that we ain't gonna never be honest and be real about what's really going on. Y'all are so wrong for this.
So now, there's tons of other cities, tons of other states. This is what's going on in one city, in one state, at one Walmart. But all black people need to get on our knees and tell the rest of the world that we're just not capable of anything. And, you know, we can't produce anything. We're pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you all feel accountable for this? If you feel accountable for this and you feel that you need to make amends with America because of what some people in Chicago were doing, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a laughing emoji in the chat, because this is definitely a joke. But let's continue.
You came in your neighborhood and fucked up your shit. I'm not a thief. I'm not coming in this store and stealing nothing. And ain't nobody gonna turn me into no animal or make me feel like a thief. Y'all let the white folks send y'all off once again. Look at all this shit on the floor. Look at all this on the floor. Everything. Everything's on the floor. Tissue. We couldn't even find tissue less than 2 months ago, and now it's on the floor. Look at it. Meanwhile, we got plenty of fruits and vegetables. I'm not gonna pick through this shit.
Oh, they took everything else but the fruits and vegetables. No wonder why so many black people are fat, bro. We are the race with the highest obesity rate. I wonder why, because we don't eat no damn fruit.
Which is interesting, because that's not true. But okay. We don't eat fruit. Let me ask you guys a question. Out of everybody here in the comment section, how many of you guys eat fruit? If you eat fruit, give me a thumbs up. If you don't eat fruit and the only thing that you eat is candy, give me a thumbs down. Now, also, what's interesting is that when it comes to the whole quote unquote dietary argument, I'm sure this guy hasn't read the book Medical Apartheid. I'm sure he hasn't taken any classes where it talks about the disparities in healthcare. Poverty has a lot to do with people's diets, and also the zoning regulations when it comes to high income versus low income areas where fast food and poison food restaurants are zoned to be in inner city and urban areas. Let me ask you guys a question. When's the last time you saw a Whole Foods restaurant in the hood? Probably don't. But none of that matters, right? Who cares about that? How does that matter? What does that matter for? Does it matter at all? No. We'll just continue with the narrative. See, what a lot of people are doing on YouTube, they're doing the grift, and they're doing the grift for real. Because all you got to do is make a video like this, trashing black people, and the majority of YouTube, which everybody knows who the majority of YouTube is, they love it. YouTube pushes this kind of content in the algorithm. You'll be on your way to 1 million subscribers in no time. This is all you got to do. This is easy work, easy money. And as you know, these people, like this fella right here, they have no morals. They don't value themselves, and they would sell their mom for the right price. I mean, clearly, that's how we got here, a lot of us, right? So this isn't something that people should be surprised of. But the problem is that when you call this kind of nonsense out, what happens is these people get a battery in their back from WS, and then they want to babble about people being divisive. Now, let me ask you a question. If you've got some black people talking crazy about other black people, isn't that divisive? If you guys feel that that's divisive, give me a thumbs up. If you feel that it's not divisive, give me a thumbs down.
Man, listen, bro. It just really hurts me, man, to hear the pain in her voice while she's walking around in this Walmart thinking about where her next meal is going to come from for her children. A real citizen that wants to legit buy her groceries. Some black people will have the nerve to say, oh, we're
so now that's interesting, right? Because I'm sure he's done enough research on that TikTok video and looked at all the other TikTok videos and researched the person to see that this is a valid TikTok video. It's real. You know, this person is a legit person that all they want to do is just buy some food. If that person wanted to buy some food, they would probably actually be in the process of getting some food somewhere else instead of taking a tour at a place that's clearly not functional and actually going to find a place that is functional. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, I messed up and argued with some liberal on MSNBC about Obama back in 2010, and a gang of WS started following me. I had to private my Twitter. Now I look like a bot because I have no followers on the old account. Yeah, that's what they do on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. Actually, there is no both sides. When it comes to politics, there's their side and then there's us. The Democrats and the Republicans play off each other. It's a team sport with them.
Still being oppressed. We're victims to the system. And then go on and do shit like this. First of all, if there is a system in place that's holding us back, how the hell are we going to fight against that system if we're doing this shit to ourselves? Bro, I've never seen people this aggressive towards each other until I moved to America.
Until I moved to America. And I don't know if you're aware of international news, but if you want to talk about some things that are going on, why don't you talk about the people that are outside of America that actually got a lot of us here in America, if you want to talk about something like that? Why don't they ever talk about that? Isn't that convenient? They never make any mention of that. Also, if we're going to talk about what goes on in places other than America, I mean, have you ever heard of Al-Shabaab? Have you ever seen the crime rate in Jamaica? Have you seen what recently went on in Haiti, where gang members in Haiti got burned alive by the citizens because crime is just out of control there? This dude is just trying to make some easy money on YouTube. And with a YouTube account having over 500,000 subscribers, it's easy. It's easy money. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of stuff right here, this is incentivized. And of course, if it's incentivized, people are going to do it. Look at him. He doing it.
How the hell are we going to fight against that system if we're doing this shit to ourselves? Bro, I've never seen...
Now, here's another question. People that move from outside of the U.S. to inside of the U.S., people that are fighting the system who are not knocking down merchandise at Walmart, we still have to deal with this kind of babble attempting to block everything that we do as well. So the people that aren't knocking down stuff at Walmart, we have to deal with these people getting political offices, saying that Black American history is nonsense and victim mentality. We have to deal with you people doing that. Let me ask you a question. Does that help anything with the system? Probably not.
People this aggressive towards each other until I moved to America and see how Black people are towards each other, bro. For all you guys that don't know, I'm actually from Jamaica, born with just Black people.
Jamaica has the highest crime rate. It's a lot higher than it is at that Walmart in Chicago. What do you guys know about the crime in Jamaica? I don't know if you guys are aware, but in 2022, Jamaica declared a state of emergency over surging crime. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Has Chicago ever declared a state of emergency over surging crime? So this guy must have missed this. Jamaica declares a state of emergency over surging crime, including tourist hotspot Montego Bay. So not only is the crime out of control in the areas that are populated with people that live there, but the crime is even out of control in the tourist areas. This is an article from November 16th of 2022. So this wasn't that long ago. They declared a state of emergency because the crime was out of control so bad. A state of emergency. Rising crime in Jamaica has caused the country's prime minister to declare a state of emergency in several areas, including popular tourist destination Montego Bay. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Tuesday declared a public state of emergency in parts of the capital city, Kingston, and in some central and western parishes in an attempt to control rising crime linked to gang violence, just like what's going on in Haiti. States of emergency give authorities increased power, including the ability to search buildings and carry out arrests without warrants. Tuesday's measures apply to areas that include popular tourist destinations such as Montego Bay. Montego Bay is one of the more popular resort areas for American tourists in the Caribbean and is home to several prominent hotels, including Sandals all-inclusive flagship location, Sandals Montego Bay. Last month, the U.S. State Department issued a travel warning, suggesting that Americans reconsider traveling to Jamaica due to rising crime. But he's never seen anything like this before. He's never seen anything like this before. So now the question that you got to ask is, when somebody makes a false statement like what he made, why is it that YouTube doesn't put the little verification or the little fact verifier under the video like they do with C19? Because clearly him saying that he's never seen crime like groceries on the ground at Walmart, well, I don't know if he's aware, but bodies are on the ground in Jamaica. Last month, the U.S. State Department issued a travel warning suggesting that Americans reconsider traveling to Jamaica due to rising crime, explaining that the homicide rate reported by the government of Jamaica has for several years been among the highest in the Western Hemisphere. The highest. I want to make sure that you guys hear me clearly. The homicide rate reported by the government of Jamaica for several years has been among the highest in the Western Hemisphere. But this guy's talking about what's going on over here in the United States, in Chicago. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness declared a state of emergency in several areas over rising crime. Violent crimes, such as home invasions, armed robberies, sexual assaults, and homicides are common, the warning said. Sexual assaults occur frequently, including at all-inclusive resorts. Local police lack the resources to respond effectively to serious criminal incidents. But this guy who just moved to the United States from over here has never seen anything like groceries on the ground at Walmart. He's never seen anything like groceries on the ground at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Jamaican officials said that 1,360 murders have taken place on the island between January 1st and November 13th of this year. And remember, this was an article that was published in 2022, which represents an increase of 6.8% from the same period in 2021. Gang violence is said to be the reason for 71% of those murders. Okay. We have seen an increase in criminal activities in these areas and a threat to property, in some instances, public disorder, Holness said during the televised address. What we are seeing with gang activities in these areas is a cause for grave concern, he added. Holness predicted an increase in murders over the next several weeks with the onset of the holiday season, when violent crime typically spikes. So the entire time this guy lived in Jamaica, he didn't watch the news. He didn't look out the window. Clearly, if where you're from has one of the highest violent crime rates in the Western Hemisphere, clearly you've seen things more graphic than groceries on the ground at Walmart. Clearly.
Actually from Jamaica, born with just black people, mainly black people in Jamaica. And when I moved up here, it's like the black people here are definitely different. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been to an all black party and there hasn't been a fight. Or
I mean, it seems like you can't go too many places in Jamaica where there's not a murder. I mean, here in the United States, there hasn't ever been a state of emergency declared by the government because of quote unquote black crime. Now, interestingly, there has been states of emergency called because of white crime, but there hasn't been any states of emergency called because of black crime. And that's a fact. But okay.
Some kind of police pulled up. There always has to be some kind of aggression. Niggas start drinking Hennessy and getting mad and fighting each other. Why can't we just party? I'm just trying to have some fun. I pull up to this party, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's good? What's good? It's like, I'm my niggas, you know what I'm saying? All black people in one spot, but we can't even have fun without someone getting violent. We are.
What kind of places are you hanging out at, bro? Let me ask you guys a question. Out of everybody that's in the chat, clearly you guys survived a party, but have most of you all, have all of you all been to a party and never been shot, assaulted, stabbed, killed? I'm assuming probably if you're here, you're not dead. So you got to ask yourself the question, what kind of party was this guy hanging out at? What were you doing? What is he doing?
Way too busy fighting each other, bro, to do anything good for ourselves. And if there is a system, it's winning because it's psychological now. It's divide and conquer. We're fighting amongst ourselves, which means they won. And we're doing exactly what they want. We're destroying our own neighborhoods. You guys are so fucking dumb, bro.
Let me ask you a question. What neighborhoods do we have? We don't have any neighborhoods. And then when we try to establish neighborhoods, there's a problem. But listen to him using bell curve talking points. You guys are dumb. Like I said, pay very close attention because the white supremacists and the quote unquote pro-blacks got the same boss. They used the same talking points. How many times have you ever heard white people make videos about how dumb other white people are? The black conservatives, quote unquote, pro-blacks, and white supremacists all use the same talking points. Let me ask you guys a question. How many times have you heard a self-designated quote unquote pro-black say that black people are dumb or black people aren't capable of XYZ? How many times have you guys heard that? If you guys have heard somebody that's allegedly quote unquote for the people say those kind of things, if those people who are allegedly for the people have repeatedly said black people aren't capable of certain things or black people aren't intelligent, if you've heard that more than once, give me a thumbs up. If you've heard that less than once, give me a thumbs down. Now, those very people that sit up there and make live streams and sit up there and make videos and say what we aren't capable of, those will be the very people telling you not to watch Fox News. Why shouldn't I watch Fox News if I'm going to listen to you and you're going to say the same thing? Carlton said, I've heard a certain doctor say stuff like that. I bet. Makes you wonder who writes these people's scripts and makes you wonder who pays these people's paychecks.
Y'all some dumbasses, man. Like, damn. Even when the whole George Floyd thing was happening, and the first thing y'all decide to do when that happened is to go loot and raid businesses.
Now, what I find interesting is that everybody that talks about the George Floyd incident that went down, no one ever talks about how the Boogaloo Boys burned up a police station. Literally, no one ever talks about that. The only people that talked about that was Minnesota local news. Also, something that none of these people ever talk about is all of the white people that attempt to infiltrate social justice movements and encourage violence, like what happened in Denver twice. Nobody says anything about that. So my question to everybody is, why are people silent on that? The guy who looks like the guy who looks like an owl says it. Who are you talking about, Drake?
Going to Gucci store, steal Gucci. What the fuck is Gucci going to do for you? And even destroy local businesses, local black-owned business.
Facts, James. If you guys agree with James, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with James, give me a thumbs down. James says our so-called black president said stupid shit like this too. Now, what's interesting is that white people will say, oh, you had a black president, and then in the same sentence say, this is a guy fist pumping and calling himself black, and he's only a shade or two lighter than me. Taking both sides of the argument, despite the fact that you are the people that made the one drop rule. According to the one drop rule, one drop is a drop of blood. So it doesn't matter how transparent you are. If you got one drop of blood, then you're black, according to that rule. So when white people attempt to skin color shame a light-skinned person, talking about how pro-black they are, what kind of sense does that make when they made the rule and it's not based on skin color, it's made on a drop of blood? Does that make any sense? The thing is that nothing has to make sense. That's one of the societal privileges. And here's the question, as far as, and shout out to James, about the quote unquote so-called black president, right? What do the so-called black president and this fella here have in common? Because they got something in common. What do they got in common? And it's something that the people that bought and paid for them, and also the people that use them for talking points, is something that they won't tell you. What do they got in common?
This is that y'all standing up for Black Lives Matter. How y'all gonna support Black Lives Matter and destroy a black-owned business and talk about, oh, we victims? It's the system. The system is holding us down.
What black-owned businesses got destroyed? If you guys agree with Carlton and with James, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down.
You fucking stupid ass. No wonder why the black community is the way it is, because of you. You guys, you all, man. There's no hatred in my heart, man. I'm just passionate. Like, I'm legit like looking at this objectively and seeing what's going on. We're destroying ourselves. We're destroying our community. So when you guys destroy all these Walmarts, you guys just give these businesses a reason not to put their establishments in our communities.
If that's the case, why are there so many businesses in those communities? Now, let me ask you guys a question. How many CEOs and business owners actually own the businesses in those communities. We honestly don't need those businesses in those communities. We need our own businesses in those communities. So the fact that this guy's not examining, well, why is there such a small amount of black businesses in those black communities? That's one of the first questions that he should be asking, right? But he's not asking that question. So you got to ask yourself, well, why is he not asking that question? Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, isn't Chicago a sanctuary city? Yep. Now, here's the question. Who made it a sanctuary city? Was it black people? The white media will say that it was black people. But when you actually do your research, you'll see that Lori Lightfoot had a lot of pushback from the black American residents of those cities that weren't in support of making it a sanctuary city or closing down schools to house migrants. But the white media won't tell you that. You got to do your research to find that kind of stuff out. And when you find that kind of stuff out, it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative.
And where the fuck are we going to get food from now? Where are we going to live? Because if this continues to happen, it will be the end of the black community. We need to get our shit together, man. We need to stop being victims.
We're seeing kicking.
Slavery and Jim Crow didn't end the black community. I'm pretty sure some groceries on the ground at Walmart's not going to end the black community either. That would just be my assumption. As much stuff as has gone on in Africa, and as much stuff as Africans have done in Africa, and as much stuff as the rest of the world has done to Africa, and Africa isn't over yet, I think it's going to take a little bit more than that. But that's just my assumption based off of evidence, not based off of me being quote unquote passionate like this young man is.
Passing cars, crowding the streets, dancing on top of park.
I'm about to make some people mad. And as I see it, the black community is the weakest link in the United States, and we need to step it up.
So what do you guys think about this intelligent Negro right here? He's so clean cut. I bet you he's going to be making all kinds of pro-white videos during election 2024. So now the question that people should ask is, if it's not about race, then why do white people attach themselves to black people like these two guys right here? Why do they attempt to push coons to the forefront if everything's not about race? See, that's the question that you got to ask. And that's the question that, of course, you won't get an answer to, but it's good to have it on the record of throwing the question out there. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, it says there are 50,000 Jamaicans in Chicago. Let me ask you a question. Do you think all of them got a clean record? Do they all have a clean criminal record? If you guys think that they all have a clean criminal record, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that they have a clean criminal record, give me a thumbs down.
Where are these children's parents? So yeah, the world sees black children out here acting like this, and then we as black people want to get mad when black children or black people are stereotyped as dangerous or people feel unsafe around us. If we don't want to be stereotyped in a negative light, let's not give people something to stereotype us about.
You mean like those 70% familicide statistics when it comes to the white community that nobody stereotypes white people about? Like that? You mean those school shooter statistics that nobody stereotypes white people about? You mean like that? You mean those teachers that sexually abuse students that nobody stereotypes white people about? Okay.
Here is why I say the black community is the weakest link in the US. So we have the lowest household median income, okay? We're also pretty much the most obese race in the US as well. 75% of black adults are either overweight or obese in the US. 75%, 3 out of 4 people. Black men are about, let's say 6.5% of the population, and yet we commit about 50% of the murders in this country. Adjusted to our race percentage of the population, black people commit more crime than any other race. I'm running out of time, so part 2 comes soon.
So I don't know if you guys have seen TD Hip Hop Media's video, but TD Hip Hop Media just did a video that debunks all of those and links all of those disparities that he just listed to the poverty rate. And we all know that the poverty rate is linked to the racial wealth gap, which is something that the United States refuses to adjust. You would think that if the United States wanted to change these problems, then they would fix it. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How do you fix it? You account for what you did to cause it. But what we're dealing with is a narcissistic culture that will never take accountability for anything until forced. So while people are sitting around and waiting and thinking that the United States is ever going to do something because of YouTube videos, it's not going to happen. Let me ask you guys a question. Has the United States ever done anything because of tweets or because of a YouTube video? Last time I checked, they haven't. But there's a gang of people out here that think that they're gonna. So let's just sit back and wait and watch and see how powerful these YouTube videos are and see if they actually reach the White House and see what the White House does because YouTubers said something. Here's my advice to everybody. Don't hold your breath. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker said only if it was a Donald Trump tweet. Yeah, that's facts.
To stop blaming the police, stop saying the police are shooting us and killing us off when black people are killing black people at an alarming rate, bro. We have no respect for one another. The black women don't respect the black men, and the black men don't respect the black women.
This guy clearly has never read the Moynihan report. He's also never read the benign neglect memorandum. And I got to agree, unless you're doing it like 9/11, landing planes ain't getting the job done. You know what I'm saying? Landing planes ain't getting the job done. And speaking of landing planes, people deciding not to become, aviation specialists, that's also not getting the job done. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? But somebody do a good YouTube video, you know what I'm saying? Some shit might happen. You know what I'm saying? Just hold your breath. You know what I'm saying? Just smash that like button, just share the video out, and maybe some shit might happen.
The families are torn up to shit. We have no foundation. And then the kids are raised into this bullshit. And all they want to do is be aggressive, steal, and have no respect for adults. Because I've seen way too many videos of black students lashing out against their teachers and fighting their teachers.
And you missed all of the ones with the white kids killing everybody, huh? We know what news channel this guy watches. Anybody want to put any suspected news channels this guy watches? I'm sure Breitbart, Fox, Newsmax. Because remember, we're the only ones that commit crime. Speaking of we're the only ones that commit crime, do you guys miss Crimecast? If you guys miss Crimecast, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you guys don't miss Crimecast, give me a thumbs down.
And all this bullshit. We need to be the type of people that we can actually be proud of, black and proud. Because this shit that's going on right now, I can't be proud of that.
I mean, you should be proud. If it wasn't for us, you'd still be in Jamaica somewhere. So you should be proud. Right? Now, what you shouldn't be proud of is you shouldn't be proud of the crime rate in Jamaica. That's not a badge of honor. I wouldn't be proud of that if I was you. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell icon twice. And also, please make sure you guys share the video to your social media. Oh, yeah, we got more Crimecast coming. I think the next episode of Crimecast might be episode 2 of Carlton's Way.
I'm just ashamed. I'm embarrassed. Y'all could have at least stole some fruit. Like, damn, man, y'all as fat as hell out here not eating fruit.
So part 2 on why.
So when he saw this should have this right here especially. Hold on real quick. This right here should have reminded him of home. That should have reminded him of home. Shout out to Hey Mr. Knickerbocker for watching the replays. Hey Mr. Knickerbocker says you ain't been on at all like you used to. Don't you know I listen to you while I work? I be depending on you. Have me watching replays all week. Well, I hope the replays were good. You know what I'm saying? But don't worry, though. I'm gonna be back like next week. The last week I wasn't feeling real good at all. But we about to definitely get it back popping again. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it popping again. And I also, in addition to streaming, I like to make the short form videos for you guys too. But with the new software updates and the new effects that they have on the software that I use to edit my videos, it takes a lot longer for the videos to process. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get 2 new computers. So hopefully I'll be able to get 2 new computers soon, and hopefully that'll speed up the processing time, and I'll be able to process them videos and go live. But when it comes to this right here, this looks like how the New York Post described what's going on in Jamaica. So you got to ask the question, what do you mean? This right here looks exactly like what you come from. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, nah, because I can't argue with the replay. Yeah, you can. You can leave the comments in the comments. If you leave comments after the replay, I'll argue back with you. You know what I'm saying? I'll argue back with you if you leave the comments in the replay. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually answer no. I don't usually address the comments. Once in a blue moon, I will if I get a notification on my cell phone. But I promise you, because Hey Mr. Knickerbocker supports the channel big time. You know what I'm saying? If you talk shit on the comment section after the videos, I promise you I'll talk shit back.
So part 2 on why African Americans are the weakest link in the U.S. Part of it is our culture. So I'm not going to be the only one to feel this way, but I'm going to be one of the few people who are going to say it. When I go to a restaurant, when I get served the worst, it is usually by a black server, waitress, or a person that works there. When I'm on the phone, the customer service, you know when you can tell it's a black lady you're talking to on the phone, right? And a lot of times when I'm on the phone, the worst customer service is coming from black women on the phone.
Now, what do you guys think about what he's saying? Do you guys agree or do you disagree? I'm going to be 110% honest. I haven't gotten a black or a white person on customer service on a phone call in a very long time. It's been a long time since I talked to anybody that spoke English as their first language, for that matter. You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you guys talked to somebody that spoke English as the first language when you call customer service? It's been a while for me. I haven't heard that in a long time. But according to this guy, he always gets some angry black people as his customer service people, which is interesting. Now, if only there was statistics and employment information to back up these claims, but they're not. There's nothing supplied here. Now, this right here is just evidence that everybody doesn't need a social media account. Everybody doesn't need a social media account. And to this guy here and to the guy in the beginning of the video, if you're doing this to be seen as better in the eyes of other people, I'm going to tell you something. It's not going to work. People who are racist are going to look at you how they look at you, regardless of what kind of nonsense you talk. If people mess with you or people rock with you or people like you, they'll look past the differences and like you for who they are. I got a lot of subscribers that don't agree with every single thing that I say, but they appreciate the realness. And they like other elements of my content creation. And I don't change my message up for anybody. So if I can have people rock with me, appreciate my content, accept my content for what it is, I'm sure you can do the same. But for some reason, these people think that they can't. There's no payoff in this. And I gotta agree. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker, he probably acts standoffish to the black folks, and probably no black folks even do anything to him. And he's one of those people that just acts scared. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, I love your content and stay arguing with you. You know, listen, I ain't even about to go there. Look, we'll go there. We'll go there in another video for another topic. We're gonna talk about that.
A lot of waitresses do not want or do not prefer to serve Black Americans. Why? They come in with the most demands. We want to spend the least amount of money and we tip the least. We will send stuff back. We'll try to get stuff.
Now, as far as spending the least money, there are a group of people that has a stereotype about them as far as spending no money, but it ain't black people. I don't know what kind of social experience that this guy has had, where he's been at, or who he's talked to. There are a group of people that have a stigma about them as far as not spending a lot of money. Newsflash. That stereotype ain't about us, bro.
For free, our culture and the way we process and go about things has got to absolutely change. Okay, so I'm running out of time again. Let me know if you want a part 3. But the reason I'm making these videos is because in order to fix a problem, you actually have to diagnose what the problem is before you can actually begin to fix it. So I'm diagnosing the problem.
So now here's my question. Do you guys feel that he diagnosed the problem? And do you guys want a part 3 of that video? If you guys feel that he diagnosed the problem and you all want a part 3 of that video, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down.
That is facts. I always try to prove the stereotypes wrong, guys. Like, my mom works in the restaurant industry, and she makes.
I don't care about stereotypes. I don't care about how other groups of people look at me on first contact. And I'm going to tell you guys something. It doesn't make sense if we look at stereotypes to not stereotypically look at what other groups of people do. So if the stereotypes in America about what black people do and have done are stereotypes that are supposed to be looked at as factual and people should be aware because of those stereotypes, well, then what should we do about the history that other people have? How should we go about that? Should we take those into consideration when interacting with other people? I think we should.
Makes it clear to us that we should tip. She's black herself, and she knows that when the black people come in, they're not going to tip like that. So whenever I go to eat, I give them a great tip. If the service is great, I give a great tip, guys, because we have to prove the stereotype wrong, man. We have to show these.
No, we don't. Because as soon as you try to prove a stereotype wrong, they're going to come up with another false stereotype. So why are you living your life to try to appease what other people want? If you're living your life and doing your life the right way, you don't need to accommodate other people's racism. You know how people say they change their voice and they talk a certain way and they do all of this stuff. What do they call that? When people appease the system? What do they call that? Oh, code switching. That's what they call it. See, that's why I don't even know what that is. The way that I talk on YouTube is the exact same way that I am with any other interaction in the world. But again, like I said, the pro-blacks be the same people that sound the same as the white supremacists. Pro-blacks will sit there and tell you to code switch. Let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever heard a pro-black say, well, you know, you got a code switch? If you guys have heard a quote unquote pro-black say that you got a code switch, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have never heard that, give me a thumbs down. I don't code switch a damn thing unless it's a door and the door's code has been the same for a couple weeks and it's time for me to switch it. That's the only damn time I code switch. I'm not taking bass out of my voice to make everybody feel safe. I'm not going to wear my clothes extra medium to make you feel like you're not going to get robbed. I don't do any of that shit. You don't have any reason to be afraid of me when all you got to do is just lie to the police and they'll come and kill me on demand. I'm sorry, man. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I still got cornrows down my back. There's literally nothing that I do that comprises of me being me that's a detriment to society or that impairs my ability to work. And as a result of that, I'm not changing shit. And my thing is, I'd advise other people not to either. Because I'm telling you, while you're sitting there trying to behave, you will still get hemmed up while somebody else who's not being profiled is stealing every damn thing. I'm not going to tell you to code switch. I'm going to tell you to embrace villainy. Every stereotype that you want to have of me, I'm gonna magnify it. I'm gonna make it really bad. You say that I'm gonna take down the property value, I'm gonna make the property value negative. I mean, that's what you're saying anyway. That's what you're saying anyway. So since that's what you're saying, that must be what you want. So trust me, when it comes to me, that's what I'm going to give you. You know what I'm saying?
People that we aren't who they make us out to be. And with that said, I'll see you on the next one, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be looking through all of them.
All right. So he'll be looking through all of his comments. So let's see here. He's got 23,000 likes on this video. 317,000 views, and it was just put up 5 days ago. This guy's name is Jay Hall on YouTube, and he's got 513,000 subscribers. Let me ask you guys a question. How is it that he's got 513,000 subscribers? I'll tell you how. The YouTube algorithm promotes this kind of stuff. And you guys should see the comments in the comment section, man. There's people, you know what? You know what? You right. You right, though. You know what I'm saying? You right, though. You got a point, though. You know what I'm saying? You right, though. You right, though. You got a point, though. You right, though. You got a point, though. The channel is called Jay Hall. So now we got one more video that we're going to react to. There's a woman on a podcast called the Whatever Podcast. How many people have ever heard of the Whatever Podcast? It's another pointless podcast. You know what I'm saying? A podcast promoted by YouTube. But on this podcast right here, there's a woman, allegedly, that says she's a 10. Now, this is a dating show, all right? Because, you know, the only content is dating content. So, before we get started with this video, out of all of these women on here, can you identify the one that you guys think is the one that says that they're a 10? Let me know in the comment section which one you guys think is the one that says that they're a 10. Which one is it? Where's the 10? Where's the 10 at? Which one claims that they're the 10? I'm going to give you a hint. The one that claims that they're a 10, their nipples are the closest to the table. Let's check this out.
I'm 23. I go to UCSB and I also bartend.
피장 왕지 걷다 난니도 장기
Yeah, so obviously that was an edited clip from the Whatever podcast. Shout out to Jabba the Hutt. But to be honest, man, the answer that this individual gave was not really that far off from the delusion that you would normally hear from a normal woman.
I'm Allie, better known for Alweezy. I'm 23 years old from Arizona, and I'm your certified bad bitch.
You're, huh?
She said that she's a certified bad bitch. Where my fellas at? She might be certified something, but I don't necessarily know if it's certified being a bad bitch. I don't know about that. I can't vouch for that. She definitely is certified something, but I don't know if it's necessarily certified being a bad bitch. I don't know if it's that. My question is, why does she have those gloves on that go all the way up to her elbows? That's the question that I have. All the other women on here, they all look depressed. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker said, stop hating, Rob. She's certified. Yeah, she's certified. But what is she certified? What is she certified in is the question.
Certified baddie.
Say your occupation one more time for us.
My occupation is a certified bad bitch.
Her occupation is a certified bad bitch, y'all. What y'all think about that? Do y'all agree that she's a certified bad bitch? If you guys agree that she's a certified bad bitch, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Al McCown said, why niggas go get a beluga whale and think they got something? That's a lot of meat. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, bruh, I'm sorry, but go to the next subject. I'm suffering secondhand Lizzo piggy embarrassment. Yo, I'm dead.
What does that mean? Can you explain that?
It's just a lifestyle. Like, I mean, if you get it, you get it. The rules are there. I mean, I feel like every woman can be a certified baddie. It's just the mindset, and it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. Some people are full-time OnlyFans models. Some people are full-time YouTubers. And some people are full-time bad bitches. Apparently, she is a full-time bad bitch. Carlton Way says, usually the dominant society doesn't promote obese white women. Nah, they don't.
Dictionary, and you were hired by Webster's to define certified bad bitch. Is that what it is?
Yes.
What would be the dictionary definition of a certified bad bitch?
I would have to say, I mean, if just like toning it down completely, just a woman who's confident in herself, does whatever she wants for herself, nobody else, is women, whatever, men, whatever, anybody can be a certified bad bitch.
Now, this is what I find interesting, right? This is a table full of women, right? And this individual right here is a trans woman, and all of the women here are sitting here being well behaved and not calling out misogyny. Do you guys find that interesting? And do you also find it contradictory? If you guys find this interesting and contradictory, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I find this interesting and contradictory. I'm curious as to why the women are not calling out to misogyny when it comes to this particular situation, because everything else is misogyny. As far as I'm concerned, this qualifies as misogyny too, but they don't see it like that.
I think it's just the level of confidence and it's the mindset for sure.
Is that the occupation you list on your taxes?
Oh, for sure. It's very much that. Very much the vibe.
Do a little fit check, I guess. Okay. Scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that. Kiko. So okay.
So if they ask her on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think she's gonna say? Is she not gonna be honest and say broken? She's not gonna be honest and say broken, because on a scale of 1 to 10, the scale broke. I'm sure it wouldn't be the first time that that's happened. But I find it interesting that this individual here is, quote unquote, setting the standards not only for biological women, but also attempting to assert what is considered a, quote unquote, bad bitch, which is usually something that men make the qualifier for. I'm just curious, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious. It doesn't make sense to me.
Start with you. Go ahead.
10.
A fat fucking 10.
A fat fucking 10.
Now, all of these women are all going to say that they're 10s. I'm not saying it. She's saying it. And the other women are letting her. Like what you're looking at right now is a table full of submission. This is submission right here. These women ain't saying anything. They letting the marshmallow trans be the spokesperson. You know what I'm saying?
So let's do that.
10.
Kiko. So okay, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
10.
A fat fucking 10.
A fat fucking 10.
I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
Okay.
Period.
So yeah, so a fat fucking 10 for this individual. I believe Ali is his name. Maybe he was born Albert. I don't know, but yeah, insane for Ali, I guess. So the delusion of this person, certified baddie. He believes himself to be a 10 out of 10. And to be honest, this is just insane. Like, let's just shoot out the elephant in the room, okay? This is an individual who's mentally ill. Bad bitch. He's a fat bum. I don't even think he's had surgery, to be honest. He doesn't look like he's had any surgery. He just either grew out his hair or put on a wig and then called himself a woman. And but obviously with these dating shows, they ask particular questions. One of those questions that I found very interesting was about relationship status.
I'm very much as single as I come, and my longest, I guess no real relationship yet. But my longest talking phase has had to be almost a year. I have to say. Longest
talking phase.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a boyfriend?
No, like officially no.
Okay, but you have had like a
long.
So we got another just pearly things. We got another just pearly thing situation. What do you guys think?
concurrent period of time, like you said, a 1 year period of time where you did have
very much like a year-long talking stage.
year-long talking stage.
Yeah.
What is talking stage? So what is that? If anyone else wants to chime in, what is the talking stage?
Hell. It's like a question of loyalty, honestly. Like you're just wondering at that point if you're in the talking stage.
Yeah, what did that mean for you?
Talking stage is when people are still messing around, but they're acting like they're in a relationship and they haven't committed yet. But these women are not honest enough to say that. That's when they have a side dude. That's when they have a backup dude. That's when they leave the date and go get busted down by another guy. That's the talking stage. We're not going to act like that's not what's going on. That's why all of the women are laughing. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, see, I'm going to be honest. She looks a little bit slow. I bet you if she was running, she would definitely look a little bit slow. Look at this.
Else wants to chime in. What is the talking stage?
Hell. It's like a question of loyalty, honestly. Like you're
See, so now pay attention to how this woman here says it's a question of loyalty. I thought the talking phase was when you're supposed to get to know each other, but she says it's a question of loyalty. So basically, what she's saying, it's a who gets caught first or who doesn't get caught stage. Mind you, this is all women saying this. You know what I'm saying? This is all women saying this. They can't say that this is misogyny. They can't say that this is guys talking crazy about women. This is all women talking this right here. Friends with benefits. Oh, he's like my brother. Yeah. Brother in the title of a porn. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's my best friend. Mm-hmm.
you're just wondering at that point if you're in the talking stage.
Yeah, what did that mean for you?
They couldn't have explained it any better. It's literally hell. Like
Purgatory.
it tests your loyalty, absolutely.
Did you want commitment, but he wasn't willing to give it?
Basically was what it was. Yeah.
So a 1 year talking stage, apparently. And I'm not too sure what she means or they mean by talking stage. I would assume it's just casual sex. So casual sex with a guy for a whole year is, God bless that individual, because boy, he is a trooper, I must say. Anyways, so remember that. This person explained, never been in a relationship at all, has gone a one year talking stage. So that leads to this clip, which we're going to be reacting here, when Brian, the host, finally basically asked, hey, bro, do you get bitches? I guess you could say.
Like, I don't know. I kind of get the impression, like, I feel like you got game. So, like, do you get mad bitches?
Honestly, yes. However, let me clarify something.
Yes, but now you know what's crazy? I actually believe this individual that they get mad bitches because guys are that dumb. I actually believe this individual because guys are that dumb. But now, as far as for a long-term relationship, nah, she ain't getting no relationship. Or she might get an undercover relationship, but she ain't getting nothing that's safe enough to where she could walk around in public and hang out. That's not happening. Ain't nobody doing that. Some people might do it, though. I ain't trying to be funny, but just Pearly Thing's boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, he looks like the type that wouldn't have a problem showing this off. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the older that I'm getting, I'm washing them away. Why? Because I'm getting older. I want a man who loves me
23?
openly.
You're 23.
Yeah, I'm 23.
You
But
got
like,
plenty
honestly,
of time to sow the wild oats.
Let's be
Okay, all right, let's be for reals here, okay? 23 years old, and this individual, this gentleman right here is saying, you know what, I'm 23 years old. I'm looking, I'm getting older. I want to settle down. I want somebody that loves me for me. You know what? That's great, bro. That is great. Especially if you were a real woman. If every woman said, man, I'm already hitting 21. I'm hitting 22. I need to settle down, get married, have a family. That's amazing. Yes, that's great. Unfortunately, he's not a real woman, which is why he's saying that. And I'm just speculating. I don't know for sure. Okay. I don't know if he gets mad bitches. I seriously doubt it though. But, but what I'm saying is I have noticed that men usually lie about their body counts, tend to add in more than what it actually is. So I think this dude is basically shooting to the direction like, yeah, I get a lot of chicks, but or get a lot of guys, sorry. And I need to settle down. This is why I'm rejecting it now.
Is that how that goes?
Let's spill the tea real quick, okay? Like, let's spill the tea. My experiences from dating.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that men usually lie about their body counts? If you guys think men usually lie about their body counts, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you guys don't think that men usually lie about their body counts, give me a thumbs down. Just going off of my personal experience, I've never really had anybody ask me about a body count. That's never been a qualifier that I've ever had to deal with. And my thing is, at a certain age, after being around somebody for enough time, you should be able to tell if somebody has a high or low body count just by how they carry themselves and their interaction with you. If you, to me, like, if you don't have that kind of situational awareness where you on your own can't figure out, like, okay, this is how I need to deal with this particular woman, or as a woman, this is how I need to deal with this particular man. If you can't tell that on your own from the interaction, you're already lost in the sauce. And to be honest, who's going to tell the truth about body count? Honestly, to me, it's not even worth asking. You need to pay attention to how somebody moves. Pay attention to how they act. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to your interaction with them. If you meet this individual on the first night and you have a one-night stand with them and you like, yo, this is the person for me, I want to marry this person, you're not taking into consideration that you're probably not the first person that she's had a one-night stand with. You're not taking into consideration that when somebody says, I usually don't do this, that they do this all the time. That's on you. That's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a father to teach that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Women also know about guys that have high body counts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny, but women look at guys with high body counts different than guys look at women with high body counts. There may be some women out there who kind of look at a high body count and be like, ew. But the reason why a lot of women like certain guys is because they're in competition with other women. And if they're looking at this guy that appears to be able to have his way with women, they want to be in competition with those other women to lock him down and take him away from those other women. Hey, Mrs. Knickerbocker says, BS, that's bullshit. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, I look at a dude with a high body count and think you got AIDS. Yeah, I would agree with that. But that's because you're smart. I don't think that you operate in the same way that most women operate. When I listen to guys talk about how they just mess around with any damn body, the first thing that I think about is you possibly got AIDS. And then the second thing that I think about is you're possibly LGBTQ. Because what you're saying is that you'll just basically stick it in anything. And if there's nothing else available, you're still going to stick it in anything, which means that you'll stick it in anything available. So if there's no women available, you're still going to stick it in anything. I'm looking at you funny. Because you don't need to be constantly doing that all the time, unless you have a psychological problem. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear dudes that are like, yeah, man, like I messed with like 13 women today and I got a date set up, like, that's not like, I don't know, like where you got those accolades from and, you know, how you're accepted in your circle, but I don't need to hear all that because I'm forming my own opinions about you. And those opinions that I'm forming about you aren't very good. You know what I'm saying?
Dating are way more different than theirs.
No
I'm a
shit.
trans girl. Like, men, honestly, like, it's so fucking rare that you ever even find a guy that's being like, let me take you out. Let's go see a movie. Let's go have dinner. No, they're just trying to fuck. I'm a fetish. I'm a fetish to like 98% of those fucking guys.
What kind of fetish would you be for a guy? Anybody want to list it in the comment section? Name it in the comment section. What kind of fetish would this individual be for a guy? I honestly don't know. I don't know what kind of fetish this would be. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a small minority of guys that literally just walk up to women and be like, let me hit that. But that's not usually how most guys go about it. But according to her, right, guys just come up to her and be like, let me just whip it out and throw it up in you. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
and find a guy that's being like, let me take you out. Let's go see a movie. Let's go have dinner. No, they're just trying to fuck.
They
I'm a
just want-
fetish. I'm a fetish to like 98% of those fucking guys. You know? So my thing right now is like, okay, yeah.
So out of all those chicks sitting around you, right? You're a fetish. If you're walking through the mall and you walk past these women at this table, you're just gonna say, fuck all these other chicks that's right there. Let me holler at you. I don't think that there's like any amount of dudes that you could take a sample of and even get 1% that would do that. Who's gonna do that? Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker renamed her Wizzo. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker renamed her Wizzo. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna do that though? Let me ask you guys a question. If you guys were walking through the mall and all these women right here at this table were in a group, like how women be, and they walked past at the mall, are you going to push all of the other women out of the way and holler at this one in the pink spaghetti top here? This spaghetti top is probably equipped with marinara sauce. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that anybody's going to do that. Just call it a hunch. Like the back. But I don't think anybody's going to do that. I want to see this individual in action. See, like when people start making these wild claims, like if these podcasts actually want to get lit, if these podcasts actually want to take it to the next level, man, you got to show me something, man. Like you can't sit here at the table looking like this and say all of this stuff is happening without a test run. I got to see it. We got to vlog this. I got to see you walk through the mall. I got to see you at the club. I got to see a swarm of dudes around you. I'm not sitting here believing this cap. I'm not sitting here believing this cap, man.
Sexually, I can probably have whatever the fucking guy I want to.
I don't think she's a fetish to 98%.
This person said that they could have whatever guy they want to. What, for dinner? For dinner?
They're just trying to fuck. I'm a fetish. I'm a fetish to like 98% of those fucking guys. You know? So my thing right now is like, okay, yeah, sexually, I can probably have whatever the fucking guy I want to.
I don't think she's a fetish to 98% of guys. And not only that, the dating experience of like guys wanting to fuck, dude, that's every girl is running into every guy that talks to you wants to fuck you. That's nothing special about you, man.
You sure?
But no, honestly, like there has not, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like if I genuinely like that guy, or if I like, oh, like, you know,
There's nothing.
yeah.
Not your turn.
Like if I'm attracted to him sexually, like I've 95% of the time I'll get it. However, I'm getting to a certain age now, like a level of maturity, where it's like, okay, sex is just sex at this point. I want intimacy, and I want it outside of closed doors.
Yep. You want something that's not shallow and superficial. You want more than just sex.
Yeah, like I
Yeah, this dude's talking like a 35-year-old girl who's hit the wall unmarried. Like that's what he's talking like.
Yep.
Like I crave intimacy. Like, and honestly, like that's something that I want long term. And I'm at a level of maturity. Like I said, I'm clearing the fucking roster. I don't give a fuck if you're a fucking football player, if you know so and so person, if you know X, Y, and Z. Like I don't give a fuck. Like
clearing the roster. What do you mean by that? Do you have confirm or deny?
Do you have blue
Is there a
checks in
roster?
your DMs?
Yes.
You're just running through famous dudes?
Whoa, listen to that. He asked him, do you have blue check marks in your DMs? As in on Instagram, the blue checks. Are they blue checks coming to you? The rich men are coming to you.
I'm not gonna be like talking like, yeah, I have hundreds, but I have like a good amount.
But you said a roster. So like, what question for you? What's the most amount of people that you've dated?
All at once?
All at once.
Like in rotation?
Same time, rotation, however you want to.
Honestly, like 3.
In rotation. Okay.
Yeah. No, like I'll have men. I'm like, okay, this one's annoying me. Like, okay, it's time to clear his ass. I'm gonna bench this person right there.
Do you meet men like Mark Madness out here?
Honestly,
damn, man, this dude really has it down of how women talk. Like no joke. Oh yeah, I clear out the roster. Oh, this guy's weird. I'm gonna get rid of him. This guy came on a little too strong. Oh, whatever. This dude, he has a broken down car. Gonna not date him. Like women weed out men that way. And this dude in a wig is talking just like that. He's saying, oh, the abundance mentality that women naturally have. And wow, man. I mean, I seriously doubt it. This dude has deep blue check marks, like rich men hitting him up.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk was. You think Elon Musk was in that inbox? If y'all think Elon Musk was in that inbox, give me a thumbs up. There's no blue check marks hitting that individual up unless it's some weirdo like the Prince of England or something like that. Or Bill Clinton. If it wasn't one of them, nobody was hitting you up.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think so.
Honestly, can I? Okay, so I did the dating app thing. Like I said, it was a full fetish. Like that's all it was. So
Did you put it on your? Sorry.
So how do they know that you're trans?
That's what I was going to ask. Do you put it out there?
I don't care how passable you are. I feel like you have to disclose.
Respect.
Yeah, you're not passable at all, though. But
and this is why.
Very much.
Okay. You know what? I can kind of see maybe there's some truth to that. You're on the dating app. Guys ain't, I think even gay dudes, like dudes that are open, that have sex with transvestites, I don't even think they're gonna commit to this dude. Like, to be honest, man.
They're especially like ding. Like there's like, okay, let's say I go out on the guy and and honestly, I'm gonna talk about this right now. At my job.
Do it. Let's go.
No, at my job, I had an experience with an old coworker. I'm not gonna say what my real
Say his full name.
No.
What's his
I'm
social
not gonna say his name. But
yeah, I'm curious to know what this guy looks like.
Because long story short, he basically said that if he went on like a date with a trans girl, he didn't know that she was trans. And she is like a fucking baddie. Like, I'm talking ass, titties, like operating. He couldn't even fucking tell. Like, this is the baddest bitch. And he found out that she was trans. He said that he would feel the need to bring out his weapon.
Oh, shit. No.
Exactly. So it's a safety issue. Like, it doesn't matter what you are. Like, I feel like you can be the most cuntiest, like fucking bad bitchery, like passable girl. I feel like you have to disclose. And I get it. Some girls, like I think it's a pride thing too with trans girls. It's like,
I don't even know what to say about any of this anymore. I honestly have no idea what to say about any of this anymore. What do you guys think? I don't even know why we're at a place in society where this is even like we're talking about, like, man, you can't even really talk about this kind of stuff without the fear or without the threat of being censored or canceled looming over you. But what I'm trying to say here is that this is an unnecessary conversation that would only be necessary in 2023. And we can't ever forget to leave off that white people blame us for it. When white people stop lumping LGBTQ in with black people, then we will stop saying this kind of stuff. But I'm sorry, anytime we address these kind of issues, we have to address that as an issue because it is the white media that puts out this nonsense. And look at what we're looking at. The only biological, the only non-biological woman on here is a WLGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? And what they do and what they like to do for political and grifting purposes is attempt to push this as a quote unquote community issue and have no accountability for it and think that they could just run their mouths and blab all over the place and just say straight nonsense. And if you ask me, I shouldn't be allowed to do that. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, make sure you guys smash the like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell icon twice and share the stream to your social media. How many pounds of deodorant do you think she has to put on and how much baby powder you think she puts under her folds?
well, I worked so hard to get to my womanhood and blah, 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 blah. I get that. And I fully respect it. Like whatever you want to be still. But when it comes to a man and especially in dating, and this, like I said, this is my opinion. And like, if any other like trans girls are watching, or if any other trans girls are watching, any of the dolls are watching, hit my DMs because if I'm saying something that's misinforming, educate me because I'm totally open to that. But
you know, it's funny how he says that because he has to make sure like, yo, maybe I'm saying something wrong. DM me, like correct me if anything. But what he's implying is correct. Like there are men out there that they find out you're a tranny, you've been making out with them, they'll put some holes in you, man. Like it's as simple as that, or they'll punch you, or they'll beat you up, or something. Like there's a safety issue there.
I mean, it wouldn't like the thing is first of all, this is an unnecessary conversation. The conversation itself shouldn't even be taking place. You know what I'm saying? The conversation itself should not even be taking place. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that, right? That's the first issue. The first issue is that the conversation shouldn't be taking place. The second issue is that since the conversation is taking place, there shouldn't even be a question of full disclosure or honesty. That should be something that happens off the rip if we're doing this. She still doesn't believe it. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker still doesn't believe it. Wizzo is a quote unquote trans because, you know, they'll say it's hate speech if we say what the what they have a word for it, what the past gender was. The dead name or something like that, I think is what they call it. If you refer to something that they were before the transition, I think they call it a dead name or dead pronoun or something like that. They got a whole term for it. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole term for it. Dead name. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I completely agree with that.
I feel like when you're one of the dolls, you have to disclose when it comes to dating because this is how there's things like murders, violence, you know, X, Y, and Z. This is how trans girls like end up in sticky situations 9 times out of 10 because they don't disclose.
X, Y, and Z, particularly X and Y.
I will say that. However, I will say though that being in the social scene, I can walk into a bar and
he said particularly X and Y. Did y'all get that? Did y'all catch it?
How he says that because he has to make sure like, yo, maybe I'm saying something wrong. DM me, like correct me if anything. But what he's implying is correct. Like there are men out there that they find out you're a tranny, you've been making out with them, they'll put some holes in you, man. Like it's as simple as that, or they'll punch you, or they'll beat you up, or something. Like there's a safety issue there. So I completely agree with that.
I feel like when you're one of the dolls, you have to disclose when it comes to dating because this is how there's things like murders, violence, you know, X, Y, and Z. This is how trans girls like end up in sticky situations 9 times out of 10 because they don't disclose.
X, Y, and Z, particularly X and Y.
I will say that. However, I will say though that being in the social scene, I can walk into a bar and I'm the most confident bitch ever. A man will still go out of his way, and these are the ones that I'm talking about that are like little closets or whatever you want to call them, like tranny.
I agree. I've heard the same thing from some of my friends. They're like, if I found out, because I went to Thailand and they're like, bro, like the lady boys, whatever. I didn't do anything.
No, I mean,
but they're like, if I found out that, because a lot of them are really believable. Like they get their Adam's apple shaved down, they get their dick cut off.
He said they get their Adam's apple shaved down. Yeah, Uncle Buck. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Buck out there speaking for the women, and they just sitting there, they co-signing it. This is what always happens. Women co-sign this and then blame men for it. Women call men misogynists for looking at this insanity and saying this is not real. Most heterosexual men, if you're heterosexual, it would be all heterosexual men, want heterosexual women. But it's heterosexual women that get in the way and start babbling, crying misogyny when heterosexual men are calling this out. They get right on the misogyny, and if he's just misogynist, then he must be transphobic and all of this nonsense. And then next thing you know, all of these kind of people here are saturating the positions on women's sports teams. And then women are complaining about it and then crying that men aren't upholding society. Like, It's the literal want the cake and eat it too. The very people that say it. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker said, I came for Villainy and you got me watching Tu Wong Fu. Y'all need to, everybody needs to make sure that they leave lots of comments in the comment section. Tell Izzy, don't ever leave me unattended when it's time for us to do these streams. You know what I'm saying?
Like they get everything done. And I've heard the same thing from like a couple of my friends. They're like, yeah, I'm swinging if I find out that. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
This is why I fully always recommend to the dolls, to all of my trans girls, even trans men, like anybody, whether
Gotta
it's
disclose.
a situation like that, you have to
Gotta disclose.
I 100%. Like even when it comes to dating apps, like you asked me if I put in there. Hell yeah, I do.
I respect you.
I'm not gonna risk myself fucking being in a situation where something stupid can happen to me over something that, one, I could have easily prevented, and two, because I don't want to spend my time with somebody who's ignorant or who doesn't agree with me. Then that's on them. I respect your opinion, but you know what? It's not worth my time.
That's personal responsibility that us conservatives love.
Okay, yeah, I can agree at the end there. I think there's
so I guess apparently all of those people are conservatives, but pay very close attention. Like, I don't know if you guys just saw the LGBTV video that I just did on Black Light Revelations 1, but like I said, conservatives are all about the LGBTQ lifestyle. They try to sit there and act like they're outraged. They try to sit there and act like they have an issue with it. They try to sit there and act like this kind of behavior supersedes their religion while quietly voting legislation in that supports this lifestyle. So they're fake. You know what I'm saying? They're fake.
a little bit of a redemption to this to Al over here. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you could potentially be in danger, right? Even if you're a regular woman, you know, you don't walk through a dark alley by yourself at 3 a.m, right? I mean, there's just basic common sense things that you could do. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Like, subscribe, comment down below all your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
So what do you guys think about that? Here's my question for you guys. What do you guys think about that podcast? I don't know why that podcast has so many subscribers, to be honest. Like, it's nothing special if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But you know how YouTube likes to show the favor. You know what I'm saying? YouTube definitely likes to show the favor. So now, in the spirit of that, I think that we should actually look at the Amazing Lucas's video about Steven Crowder again. Because, like I said, I'm going to show evidence how most conservatives actually support the things that they claim to be against. And Amazing Lucas does a great job of pointing this out with Steven Crowder and his cross-dressing. We just talked about that guy in Vermont, or I'm sorry, that guy in Indiana. What's his name? Let me see real quick. The Indiana County Councilman, Ryan Webb. These people act like they're trolling, but they're not really trolling. They actually support this. Again, it shows in their policy, because all the LGBTQ legislation that passes is all bipartisan. It's all bipartisan. None of this stuff passes on its own. All of it passes because there's support for it to pass. Okay? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell, and also share the video to your social media. And also make sure you guys follow the backup channels and the other social media.
Did I call it or did I call it? Oh my goodness. So if you haven't heard, Steven Crowder is getting a divorce. Yes, that is correct. Steven Bussy Crowder is finally getting a divorce, and it's absolutely hysterical. This is something that has been in, the making for quite some time. I called this a long time ago. People on the inside that I've talked to have told me, yo, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. So I've known about this for quite some time. Even if you didn't know about this, okay, a person with an IQ above room temperature could clearly see that this dude doesn't like women. Steven Crowder has dressed.
Let me ask you guys this, to the women in the chat. Would you be okay with your man constantly dressing like this? Is that something that would turn you on? Is that something that would secure your marriage? Is that something that would make you feel like you have a manly man and you're safe at home? Let me know.
Dressed up as a woman more than he is dressed up as a man. Okay, can we call a spade a spade? This is one heterosexual male who just loves dressing up in drag, okay? He dresses up in drag more than actual drag queens, okay? He comes up with reasons to put on makeup and wear skin-tight leggings, okay? Can we stop? Can we stop it, bruh? Can we stop it? This man is a hemisexual. That's what he is.
Afraid of Mr. Hyde rearing his ugly bisexual head. That was a short phase. Bisexual head. That was a short phase.
Bisexual head.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Steven, if you like men, then just, it's okay, bro. Come out the closet. The Republicans, they're all down for it. Hey, they got Caitlyn Jenner. They got Blair White. They got Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin was about to have a surrogate, okay? So listen, you'll fit right in with the Republicans, okay? You don't have to worry. You don't have to hold this shame on your back, all right? You just got to just be free, fam. Just be free. Just be yourself, okay? But the funny part in all of this situation, because really it's not really funny, because what this man did is abysmal. It's disgusting. Him, as a blatant homosexual man, married a woman, a heterosexual woman, and then pretty much was forced to have kids. He didn't want kids. And
I mean, like, if you ask me, dude, you got to answer for all of this, man. Any guy that goes around and carries himself like this, like, bro, you got to answer for all this nonsense, man. You got to answer for this. There's got to be something. There's got to be some explanation. And, like, you have to give it. You have to give it. So, hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says, I'm going to go with no. My husband don't even allow jokes like that. We aren't even allowed to say his middle name because it's too feminine for his liking. And it's ugly, too, though.
In fact, the argument that he gave for not wanting kids was actually like a prenatalist argument, which cases some people use for like abortion.
I'm afraid of having children. I'm really afraid of having children. I said I don't like kids. That's not true. I like kids. That's a smokescreen. I kind of don't like sticky kids.
What? What? Sticky kids? Now, remember, this guy is the comedian. That's what they say.
But I'm afraid of having children. Deathly afraid because of thrusting them into a life that they didn't choose.
Why bring this life into, into this world with nothing but pain and sorrow? That's the argument that he was giving. Talking about, I'm afraid to have kids and stuff like that. No, it's not that he was afraid to have kids. He didn't know how. That's the issue. He didn't know how it was going to happen because he doesn't like women. So
this is a classic roast. This is a classic roast. You know what I'm saying? This is a classic roast. Man, this was devastating. You know what I'm saying? This was a devastating roast. I'm dead.
So I guarantee he's probably talking to Dave Rubin. Yo, how'd this happen? Surrogate? Okay, so who is your person that you use? That's what he's thinking about, okay? I bet my life that is what Crowder was worried about. He was worried, how does a gay man have children? Like, that means I have to do the nasty with the female. Ugh. Now, in his video, which is hysterical, because he's going through like the whole MGTOW, red pill, manosphere. Oh my God, it's just hilarious to see him just break down. Because what he does is, every incel, every beta talking point.
Oh, you didn't see Candace Owens' response? You didn't see Candace Owens' response? She was wearing a Beetlejuice. She was wearing a Beetlejuice blazer on the response.
Trying to blame no-fault marriage. Oh, this is the law. That's what he keeps on saying. He keeps blaming the law, right? Not the fact that maybe there was something in the marriage that you weren't delivering. I don't know. Maybe the fact that you're a closeted homosexual. Maybe that's why she wants to get a divorce.
And she wanted something else for her life.
That's not my choice. She simply wanted out, and the law says that that's how it works. And no, this was not my choice. My then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted.
Because he makes it clear, it's like, you know what? She's the one that's doing this. And you know what? The law doesn't agree with me.
This is what I don't understand. How is this even a thing that these people don't feel that people should be allowed to get divorces? Why would you want to continue to force somebody to be with you that does not want to be with you? Why would you want that?
The law doesn't agree with me.
But in today's legal system, my beliefs don't matter. In Texas, divorce is permitted when one party wants it, period.
I'm like, what are you talking about? The law doesn't agree with you. Like, would you want to force her in a marriage that she doesn't want to be a part of? Does that make any sense to anyone?
Right. That's the question. If that makes sense to you, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make sense to you, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Torian Rain. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, it absolutely sounds like abuse. Sounds like abuse. Sounds like narcissism. I mean, this dude is he's a mental nutcase.
Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how are you blaming the law for your inadequacies and shortcomings, huh? She doesn't want to be in the marriage, and you're blaming the law because you can't force her to stay in the marriage? This is like some sick, cuckoo, like narcissist, controlling, like abusive mentality, all right? That's what this is a sign of. But during this unhinged rant that he gives, he talks about, I want to make clear that it's not the children's fault. Why would it be the children's fault? Like, who was blaming the children? Like,
let me ask you guys something. How many people have ever assumed that in a divorce, it's the children's fault? Is there anybody in the chat or anybody watching anywhere who's watching this video, wherever you may be, that feels that it's ever been the children's fault that a divorce has taken place? Is there literally anybody who's living in that delusion other than Steven Crowder? That's my question.
what are you talking about? The children's fault? Like, what? What are you talking about, bruh? Nobody was blaming the children. No one even brought up the children. Then he goes on to say the line of the year, bruh. I picked wrong.
But one thing that is undeniable in this case is that it's no one's fault but my own, in that I picked wrong. And that's certainly not the fault of my children.
Bruh, I had to replay that multiple times.
Yeah, your children weren't around when you picked her, so it couldn't possibly be the children's fault anyway. Like, you that went without saying. You literally didn't have to help us with that one. But this is the guy who has such amazing things to say that YouTube gave him 5 million subscribers. YouTube gave him 5 million subscribers because there's not 5 million people that want to hear this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. He's just another artificially inflated YouTuber. AIYT, artificially inflated YouTuber.
Time, just rewind. I picked wrong. Okay, I picked wrong. All right, I chose a woman. Did anyone catch that? I thought that was funny. What do you mean you chose a woman to marry, as opposed to what? A man? No one says I chose a woman to marry. Okay, to dedicate my life to, that I love, and now the woman of my children. Bro, what are you talking about? Stop it. I know you chose a woman. I know, but your heart chose a man. That's what it is, huh? You and to be honest with you, this man is either hemsexual, or he'll actually come out as a trans woman. That's honestly what I'm predicting for Steven Crowder. Either hemsexual.
He looked just like that lady that was in that podcast that we watched, or whatever you want to call it.
To marry, as opposed to what? A man? No one says I chose a woman to marry, okay, to dedicate my life to, that I love, and now the woman of my children. Bro, what are you talking about? Stop it. I know you chose a woman. I know, but your heart chose a man. That's what it is, huh? You and to be honest with you, this man is either hemsexual, or he'll actually come out as a trans woman. That's honestly.
Pause. Pause. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if that's decoration. I don't know what's going on back there. But if you put your phone up or whatever you're watching this on, if you get close to the screen, there's actually a head behind him. and whoever's head that is that's behind him, there's a mask on it. Can you guys see that? Yeah. You can see a head. You can see a head back there. There's an eye, there's an eyebrow. Can you guys see it? So 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 my question is, what's going on with that? Who is Shinobi back there? That head isn't always there. That's not always there, guys. What's going on with that?
What I'm predicting for Steven Crowder. Either him shits you or a trans woman. In which case, hey, it's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy, baby. Just stop parading yourself around as some heterosexual man talking about, oh, we got to fight. Let's fight and all this. We got to stop fighting. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Okay. Go have a little tea party with Dave Rubin and figure out what you're doing. Okay. The funny, on top of the stupid Sunday, is that he tries to attack Candace Owens. And it's like, oh, please attack Candace Owens. I am waiting for the fireworks. Because he edits in this clip of Candace Owens talking about, well, Steven is going through some things right now, so that's what blah, 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 right?
We're so thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Steven has a lot going on. I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on in their life. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to the situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer. Sometimes people need a scripture.
Some people just never learn. Some people just never learn. They never learn, man. They never learn.
You know, Steven purports to be a Christian. I am unsure at this moment if it is my place to say more than that. You know, maybe if I feel in further defense, something should be said, or maybe if I feel that the public has a right to understand certain circumstances.
Now, he tries to say that was her hinting at him going through a divorce. Okay, that's a reach, my guy. Absolutely a reach. Because that was definitely on the top of everyone's head, given that, you know, we know that you're a homosexual. So yeah, I would assume that a woman, right, who wants a heterosexual man probably doesn't want to get married to a homosexual man. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, 1 + 1 does equal 2 in that regard. Now, Candace comes back, you know, Candace is a white woman in a black woman's body, okay? Can we be honest here? She has been passed around by the Jewish community more than a dreidel at a party, okay? I don't know what to tell you. This girl, boy, one thing I'll give her is that if you've employed her, she will fight for you, okay? You remember Larry H. Parker? She is the Larry H. Parker of like, of employees. She went to bat for TPUSA, Dennis Prager. Now she's on the Dennis, what's his name? Daily Wire. I don't know where else she's gonna go. And she is like a pit bull, bruh. Just a pit bull, just like a typical Karen, right? Typical Karen. She went after Blair White, Tommy Lauren. She's gone after, who else? Cardi B, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God, she's gone after everybody. So I hope he picks a fight with Candace Owens. This would be delicious. Oh yeah, she went after Kim Klacik. Y'all remember that? Candace is dirty, okay? Very dirty and very petty. And she does it like a white woman. That's what she does. That's her whole purpose in life, is to emulate a white woman. And she's doing very well, mind you, okay? Very well. Has built nothing, but is getting paid to just talk. That is a white woman to a T. All this, it's all fun for me. It's all humor. I'm glad there's some fun back into the political arena, bro, because it was getting morbid, bro. It was getting dreadful. I was like, oh, there's nothing going on here. But now I got some excitement in my life.
Facts.
Oh, man, I hope.
Facts. She's Cruella Dandeville.
I hope Steven Crowder and Candace Owens go at it. Oh, it would be amazing. I would love to see it. Steven, I wish you the best. Okay, I wish you the best. Maybe you'll figure it out, bro. You'll figure it out. You'll land on your feet and on your hands, you know, like you usually do. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether Lucas, Stephen is not a homosexual. All right, he's not. He's
Lucas. Oh man, it don't get no better than that, man. It does not get any better than that. These people are crazy. Now, I think that we got this video here. We watched this the other day on hold on real quick, guys. Let's see. We watched this video the other day with Candace Owens. I'm gonna see if I can find it again real quick. No, let me see. Hold on. I don't think that's it. Wait a minute. Let me see one thing real quick here. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I had the video queued, but I don't. So we did talk about it on the last stream that I did. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker. So if you want to, you could check it out on that last stream that I did. Let me just see one more thing real quick here. Let me see. Hold on. I might actually have it up. But oh, you know what? Actually, I got a video from the Minority Report, and this video from the Minority Report actually has that response that you were looking for in it. So we could check this out. I can't stand the Minority Report. We did a full reaction to a video that they did a couple days ago, and it was just liberal babble as usual. But we about to check this one out for the Candace Owens response.
Well, here is Candace Owens, you know, and Candace Owens, you know, worldview. I don't know how much different it is than Steven Crowder's, frankly.
I know.
But it, you know,
she's a feminist.
It's not just like the sort of. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not just the words that Crowder uses. It's not just like his word choice. It is again that concept of dominion. Here is Candace Owens though talking about how the Crowder also apparently has been lying about the whole sort of like TikTok essentially.
Breaking and infuriating for me.
Sorry, let me slow that down. I was watching that on a bit sped up here. Just give me 1 second.
We should say Matt never watches anything at one time speed.
Oh my
he
God.
slows
Waste of
everything
life.
down for for Matt. Watching videos on this program is like Neo in the Matrix. Everything is just slowed down. Go ahead.
Matt needs like a beer bong for information. We're just knuckles to
Let's see if we could speed them up a little bit. Okay. This isn't the response. I think this is the original one.
Heartbreaking and infuriating for me to watch. I cannot even comprehend how any man can speak to a woman like that, least of all when she is 8 months pregnant. And sadly, that isn't the worst part of that correspondence. The journalist that dropped this video is Yashar Ali. He dropped this as well as a Substack entry accompanying it. On the Substack article, he wrote, moments later, off camera, Steven Crowder, by his own admission, would lose control and scream at his pregnant wife in a threatening tone, quote, "I will f you up," end quote, which led his wife to flee their home. She then sent a statement, which I want to be very clear. The statement I knew was going to come out. I didn't know any of this information. I had no idea there was a video or there was any evidence. I did know that their family was thinking about issuing a statement, and Hillary Crowder did issue a statement. And I'm going to read you that statement in its entirety because it's important. I think it reveals a lot of the lies that Steven has been telling publicly to his audiences.
And can we pause here for 1 second? I just want to make a point. You know, someone just IM'd and said R.M. Brown highlighted a video of Candace Owens from 9 days ago. She was asking a serious question: should women be able to vote? You'll notice that the way that Candace Owens is dealing with this is Crowder as his.
So that's that right there. Isn't that something that just Pearly Thing said also? That women shouldn't be able to vote. So pay very close attention to how these people literally read from the same script. They read and recycle from the same script.
Personal behavior, as opposed to the ideological framework in which he has entered into this relationship with his wife. When you talk about wifely duties, and when you talk about you're not showing respect and discipline, and this is all about his dominion over her. And Candace Owens will not discuss that because ideologically, she is in the exact same place. as Steven Crowder. She just thinks there needs to be bigger buy-in by the women, and the men need to deal with women who are not acting in accordance to this worldview in a different way. So she will make it about him as an individual, as opposed to the ideology from which he is reacting to and living under.
And this is the Phyllis Schlafly tension, where she's a public figure saying a lot of anti-female things and making money and clearly enjoying the public the publicity she gets. This is her passion, I guess, is her job. And yet what she says is very retrograde and often like dovetails nicely with advocating for women to, like, as you say, have less rights. Yep. So this is purely self-serving for her, but it's still fascinating in and of itself.
Telling publicly to his audiences. It reads, Hillary is currently living alone in Dallas apart from her family and support system in Michigan and is focused on taking care of her young children. She is not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Stephen about their relationship. The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Stephen's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their...
This is a question that I keep asking, and I haven't gotten any answers for it yet. So I'm going to put it out there again. The question is, why is it that Candace Owens is doing the heavy lifting for the Daily Wire? And why aren't Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh going after Steven Crowder? Why is Candace Owens like a pit bull in this situation? That's the thing that I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to make sense out of. Does that make sense to you guys? If that makes sense to you guys, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make any sense to you guys, give me a thumbs down. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn child. In June of 2021, Stephen left their home to pursue elective surgery. That's very important. I want you to remember that. I'm going to come back to that point. Hillary urged him to get the help he needed to address.
Did you guys know that Steven Crowder got elective surgery? If you guys knew that he got elective surgery, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't know that he got elective surgery, give me a thumbs down. Steven Crowder got quote unquote elective surgery.
His abuse with the hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family. Instead, Stephen refused to do so and chose not to be with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Stephen bought a townhouse and left their home permanently. Hillary was not aware that Stephen hired a divorce attorney and asked his assistant to cut Hillary off financially. There is significant documentation substantiating these facts. I want to remember that portion as well, because it's another lie that Stephen has told publicly. We hope that Stephen will cease from speaking publicly about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal process, so there is fairness and accountability for the actions that caused the divorce and to ensure the outcome is what is in the best interests of the young children. I would first like to go back to that portion where she says Stephen left their home to pursue elective surgery, because I know exactly what surgery she's referring to, because during my first backstage here at Daily Wire, we actually prayed for Stephen and this surgery. So before I show you a clip from us on backstage, here is Stephen describing that surgery, and it certainly doesn't sound like it's elective. Take a listen.
I explained to you a little bit what it is. You know, a lot of people say, why are you smoking? My heart is actually great, but my heart doesn't work great. And the reason my heart doesn't work great is, long story short, because of a connective tissue disorder I have, and my chest is caving in on my heart. So I've got about, I'm at a little more than half of the blood flow that you guys have, ventricular output from my heart. So it's a mechanical fix. And I don't know, maybe I'll feel like Lance Armstrong, you know, like I'm on EPO after this, because I don't know what it's like to go through life with full blood flow. To me, I'm looking forward to it, not looking forward to the pain. Lance Armstrong, by the way, with the three balls, not the one. So yeah, it's overall a positive thing, and honestly, I probably needed a little bit of rest. It comes in the form of having my chest cracked open.
Obviously, he had the surgery, and then his lung collapsed, and here is us praying for him.
I don't want to see them praying for him. I don't care about that.
So probably pec implants.
My understanding is I saw some report that like it's a cosmetic thing. I don't know that he had pec implants, but it probably functioned in the same way. Made him feel better. It made him feel like he was more of a man, so his chest could be pumped out.
He had some kind of body dysmorphia, it looks like.
I mean, this is where you get into like the narcissism and the personal psychology, right? Like it's not although that narcissism and personal psychology certainly informs the role of the man in these sort of like fundamentalist households, which is my stuff comes first.
So apparently what it was that he got some type of chest implants, some type of pec implants, because he didn't he didn't feel that his chest was large enough. Maybe Lucas was onto something.
So I will get this elective surgery when, and it's, you know, it's relatively predictable when someone's going to have a baby. Sometimes you can know it'll land right on the date, but you know, it's relatively predictable.
I forgot to look at my calendar.
Yeah. And when would you like to get the surgery? I would like to get the surgery right around the time that my wife is anticipating her pregnancy. And he doesn't attend the birth. That is not his Christian fundamentalism operating there.
Where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? I mean, I guess the father is at a criminal butcher's office instead, you know?
Yes, fundamentally
altering his body for the rest of time. I mean, you can't go back. What are the regret rates? We haven't studied this enough. We haven't studied men who have problems with their masculinity, are constantly overcompensating to run away from thoughts in the back of their head, going to surgeons to make them feel more manly. We don't know what the ramifications about this yet.
Now, they're kind of trying to troll. But what I think is funny is that their trolling kind of actually somewhat validates the stuff that Amazing Lucas was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be covering that a little bit later on in the week. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully next time I'll be able to get Izzy. I think Izzy passed out. We missed him, but since we already had the stream scheduled, I wanted to get it up. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you guys hit the bell icon twice, smash that like button, share the video to all your followers. Make sure you guys follow me on my other social media. Also, check us out over on Rumble, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right? Peace.